Hello and welcome to the World News on Souqnews Television. We are reaching you live from our studios in the city of Lagos. I am Grace Komalafe. First, we bring you the headlines. The NCS and ICPC collaborate to enforce and enhance revenue generation with transparency and accountability. UNICEF launches $20 million appeal to fight cholera in Nigeria. Tanzania government bans foreigners from running small businesses to preserve citizens' livelihoods. And U.S. President Donald Trump announces new tariffs as a deadline nears. FC Barcelona and DR Congo partner to promote culture and innovation in sports. Thank you for joining us. Now we'll give you the news in details. The federal government may rake in 796 million naira annually from the introduction of a 5% surcharge on locally produced and imported petrol. This is based on its new tax policy slated to take off from January 1, 2026. The 5% surcharge on refined petroleum products is explicitly contained in the Nigerian Tax Administration Act, which stands as one of 4 tax reform bills signed into law by President Bola Tinubu on June 26, 2025. Consumers have already voiced strong opposition to this move, emphasizing that the government had previously removed fuel subsidies and now plans to impose an additional 5% surcharge on fuel, seemingly without considering the severe harsh economic realities faced by nationwide. This concern comes as oil marketers have also stated that the 5% surcharge may inevitably lead to a future hike in the pump price of refined petroleum products. The federal government, through its Basic Health Care Provision Fund, has disbursed over 20 billion naira for the funding of 4,362 primary health care centers across 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, over the last 2 years. These initiatives highlighted in a press release by Rabiu Ibrahim, Special Assistant Media to the Minister of Information and National Orientation, aims to bolster grassroots healthcare. Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, the Coordinating Minister of Healthcare and Social Welfare, made this disclosure during his presentation at the ongoing Government Citizens Engagement Session organized by the Sir Ahmadu Bello Memorial Foundation in Kaduna on Wednesday. The Basic Health Care Provision Fund is recognized as a flagship health financing reform. It is especially designed to ensure consistent access to affordable and quality health care for Nigerians' most vulnerable populations, underscoring the government's commitment to public health. And now the UN Children's Fund, UNICEF, has launched an urgent appeal for $20 million to be raised within the next 3 months, targeting the growing cholera crisis in Nigeria and other parts of West Africa and Central Africa. In the statement released on Wednesday, the agency warned that worsening rainfall, widespread flooding, and mass displacement are accelerating the disease spread, putting millions, especially children, at risk. UNICEF emphasized that this funding is crucial to scaling up health services, water, sanitation, and hygiene, and strengthening community engagement. These measures are vital to prevent a wider public health disaster. A UN official added that the alarming number of suspected cholera cases has made Nigeria the second most affected country in West Africa, Central Africa, underscoring the urgency of the situation. Away from that, the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NEITI, has proposed a 3-pronged agenda to guide Nigerians' energy transition and climate justice initiatives. Dr. Orji Ogbonaya Orji, NEITI's Executive Secretary, outlined this proposal at the 4th National Executive Dialogue NED 2025 in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. The agenda, detailed by the Director of Communications and Stakeholder Management, Obiageli Onuara, comprises 3 interconnection pillars: The first is the deployment of data to guide information decision making, and secondly, it emphasizes inclusive policy making, ensuring that the voices of host communities and vulnerable populations are elevated. The third pillar involves the implementation of crucial reforms. These reforms include clear protocols for divestment and decommissioning, strong legal safeguards for community benefits and environmental responsibility, and targeting incentive for local beneficiaries and extractive-driven industrialization of Nigeria's solid mineral endowment. Dr. Orji conveyed that the dialogue's theme called for a future anchored on justice, sustainability, inclusion, and shared prosperity. And now in Uyo, the state government has earmarked a substantial 5.4 billion naira for the second phase of its Sustainable Actions for Economic Recovery (SAFA) initiative. The significant funds are strategically directed towards strengthening small and medium-sized enterprises and substantially boosting agricultural productivity, with particular emphasis on livestock, fishery, poultry, and crop production. Additionally, a portion of the allocation is designed for enhancing vital healthcare and transportation infrastructure across the entire state. This announcement was made by the State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Professor Musbau Babatunde, during the presentation of 2025 Midterm Revenue and Expenditure Performance Report held on Wednesday in Ibadan. Professor Babatunde explained that the SAFA initiative, originally introduced in 2023, is specifically developed to mitigate and severe economic hardship faced by residents following the removal of the national fuel subsidy. And I will take a short break. When we come back, we'll be bringing you more stories. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Femi Walsh Limited, owners of Souq TV Lagos, Our Radio Lagos, Kaswa Radio Kano, and of course Emirates TV Abuja and Dubai. Our niche market for media is business, economy, and development. At Femi Walsh, we promote your company's products and services using our world-class facilities. From Our Radio to Souq TV, what you get is nothing but the best of the very best.
And if you're looking for the premium production firm for your events and corporate coverage, think no further, because we offer you the best of industry standards.
With high-definition cameras ranging from 4K to 8K multicam setups, high-directional microphones, and real-time streaming encoders, we give you a production like none other. And if you're looking to produce podcasts, adverts, and documentaries, our team of experts will ensure that you convey your message clearly and professionally. Femi Walsh, Global Vision, Local Impact.
Glad to know you never left. Then now to more stories. Tanzania has enacted sweeping new restrictions prohibiting foreigners from operating a broad range of small businesses, a move aimed at protecting grassroots economic activity and local opportunities. The new regulation, Business Licensing Prohibition of Business Activities for Non-Citizens, Order 2025, published on July 28, 2025, was signed by Dr. Selemani Jaffo, Minister for Industry and Trade. Under this directive, foreigners are prohibited from 15 specific business sectors deemed critical to grassroots economic empowerment, traditionally dominated by Tanzanians and vital for local job creation. Violators face stringent penalties, fines up to 10 million Tanzanian shillings, imprisonment up to 6 months, or both foreign Offenders may also have their residence permit and visas revoked. Tanzanian citizens assisting non-citizens in these restricted activity face penalties, including a 5 million Tanzanian shilling fine or up to 3 months in jail. And now Zambia's annual inflation rate eased to 13% in July, a notable decrease from 14.1% in June, marking the lowest level since November 2023. Acting Sustainability General Shela Mudenda announced these figures on Thursday in Lusaka, attributing the decline largely to a stronger Tanzanian kwacha. The strengthened currency has helped reduce the cost of imported goods and services. This sharp inflation slowdown strengthens the possibility of a monetary policy rate cut by the Bank of Zambia in upcoming meetings. Analysts suggest that the improved exchange rate stability and easing consumer prices may give policymakers room to lower borrowing costs to support economic growth, especially as global financial pressures begin to ease, offers a positive outlook for the nation's economic trajectory. And moving on, the South African rand weakened to a one-month low on Wednesday, trading near 18 to the United States dollar amid rising concerns over looming United States tariffs and a key interest rate decision by the South African Reserve Bank. With a potential 30% import duty on South African goods set to take effect August 1, the country has offered major concessions, including energy import and investment pledges, to hopes of averting the new levies. Despite the uncertainty, economics expect the central bank to cut its benchmark interest rate by 25 basis points, although analysts caution it may be the final cut in the current cycle. Reports suggest that it is counterintuitive to lower rates during a period of tariff hike. Investors are also watching key economic data due Thursday, including producer inflation and the trade balance, for further insight in South Africa's economic direction. And now Saudi Arabia's real gross domestic product, GDP, grew by 3.9% in the second quarter of 2025, year-on-year, driven by a pickup in non-oil and non-oil sector activity. Non-oil activities saw a 4.7% increase and oil activities expanded by 3.8%. Government services rose 0.6%. On a sensational adjusted basis, GDP grew 2.1% quarterly. Oil activities increasing 5.6% was the largest contributor to growth, followed by non-oil sectors, which expanded 1.6%. Government activity contracted 0.8%. Crude production remained stable, with non-oil growth supported by consistent activity in construction, financial services, and warehouse trade. While Saudi Arabia's full-year GDP contracted by 0.9% in 2023 due to oil output cuts, it is projected to rebound in 2025. IMF forecasts anticipate overall GDP growth of 2.6% this year, with non-oil GDP expanding by over 4%, highlighting a strong economic recovery despite past challenges. And now we'll be taking another break. We'll be coming back with more stories. This time around, U.S. Donald Trump. Please stay with us. We'll be back.
On the 19th of August 2025, Paris will come alive with the prestigious People's Choice Governors Awards taking place at the Gauche Hotel, Paris. The prestigious People's Choice Governors Awards is designed to celebrate governors who have contributed immensely to their states in different countries across the world. If you are a governor who's gone above and beyond to deliver transformative projects in your state and country, then this award is for you. To partake of the Governor's Excellence Awards this year taking place in Paris, all you have to do is send an email to soupnexus.com with the words I accept. And we will get right back to you. You can also send a WhatsApp message to the WhatsApp number scrolling on your screen right now. You don't want to miss Paris for anything, and we are looking forward to celebrating you and your achievements this year. So contact Soup Nexus to make that happen.
Growing interest in Nigeria's lithium reserves comes as countries worldwide scramble to secure supplies of the mineral which is essential for powering the green energy revolution. In this special report by Bayo Olaoye, the need to harness this resource for growth and development is examined with the evolution of electric vehicles and renewable energy storage systems. Lithium is a key component in the production of batteries for electric vehicles and renewable energy storage systems, and Nigeria is positioning itself to become a major player in the global lithium market. Nigeria's vast lithium reserves, valued over $34 billion, is no doubt attracting world attention, while lithium factories are springing up in different parts of Nigeria already. The attention of the international mining industry is also focused on lithium because it is critical raw material for the production of solar panels and electric vehicles. Analysts predict that global lithium market could grow robustly over the next decade, driven by the rapid adoption of electric vehicles and renewable energy technologies. Data from a global future market insight showed that the lithium mining industry has emerged as a cornerstone of the clean energy transition, driven by the skyrocketing demand for lithium-ion batteries. The surge in lithium demand is driven largely by the electric vehicles market, which accounted for over 70% of the global lithium consumption in 2024, according to an Iranian-based research firm. With countries such as the United States, China, and members of the European Union pushing for next zero emission by mid-century, lithium demand is expected to escalate further. The federal government, indeed, the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, should intensify efforts geared at renewing and resuscitating the viable lithium industry in the country to its full potential. As Nigeria diversifies its economy into other sectors, the lithium industry offers hope and expectation that this sector would earn more revenue for the country. Nigeria should not just watch with folded arms, but must strive with the political will to develop and strengthen the country's vast lithium reserves.
Lateef Jakande. Born Lateef Kayode Jakande in the Ekpetedo area of Lagos Island, Lagos State on July 1929. He studied at the Lagos Public School at Enowa, Lagos Island, then at Bonham Memorial Methodist School, Port Harcourt, King's College, enrolled at Ilesha Grammar School, where he edited a literary paper called The Quarterly Mirror. Jakande began a career in journalism in 1949 with a daily service and joined the Nigerian Tribune in 1953. The owner, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, appointed Jakande editor-in-chief of the Tribune in 1956. Jakande established John West Publications in 1975 after leaving Tribune and began to publish the Lagos News. He served as the first president of the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, NPAN. Jakande ran for election as Executive Governor of Lagos State in 1979 on the Unity Party of Nigeria platform. His administration was effective and open and implemented the cardinal policies of his party. He introduced housing and educational programs targeting the poor, building new neighborhood primary and secondary schools, and providing free primary and secondary education. He gave poor people's children education, and many of them are now very prominent in the society today. Jakande established the Lagos State University and constructed over 30,000 housing units. After the military takeover in 1983, Jakande was charged, prosecuted, and convicted of treason and later pardoned. He served as Minister of Works under the Sani Abacha military regime. He died in Lagos on February 11, 2021. Lateef Jakande was the first civilian governor of Lagos State. Lateef Kayode Jakande, Souk Enlightenment.
Broad Street. Broad Street, situated in Lagos Island, is steeped in Nigerian history. Once the biggest financial hub of the country, it housed the headquarters of major banks, linked to CBN, the stock exchange, and the loads of lender companies. Broad Street is a historically significant street. It has played a central role in the development of Lagos and history, an important commercial and administrative center for the British colonial authorities. It was also a home to some of the city's earliest modern buildings. Broad Street was a residential area in the pre-colonial era. With the British came the Methodist Boys High School in 1878 and the Broad Street Prison in 1882, renamed Freedom Park. The General Hospital, which was a British military hospital, was built in 1893, being the first general hospital in Nigeria. The old British Secretariat building, which is now the Federal Ministry of Justice, was built in 1906. Broad Street has seen a full turn into modern commercial office blocks, complexes, skyscrapers, and markets from the outer marina through Akpombo, early into the Adeniji Adele Road. Broad Street is one of the busiest streets in Nigeria on weekdays, where commercial activities take place day and night. From modern buildings to ancient structures, this street gives one a raw dose of life in Lagos. Broad Street is often referred to as Lagos Financial District. It boasts a mix of architectural styles, reflecting its long history, colonial-era buildings, Victorian and Edwardian architectural features, alongside more modern skyscrapers and structures. Broad Street remains a vital, vibrant part of the Nigerian economy. Broad Street, Souk Enlightenment.
The Three Wise Men. Iconic sculptures and statues adorn major metropolitan cities of the world. In Lagos, Nigeria, the statue of three men designed to depict the state's cultural heritage and to usher in visitors and tourists into the ever-accommodating center of excellence is no doubt an astounding work of art. Originally built under the administration of Colonel Raji Rasaki, designed by Bodun Shodende in 1991 and standing over 12 feet high, referred to as Agba Meta or Aro Meta, the three sculptured chiefs were placed along the Lagos-Ibadan toll gate to welcome people coming into Lagos State. The statue called the Three Wise Men by many has become a major signature for the state. Three white-capped chiefs clad in white wrappers knotted across their shoulders and with clenched right fists are shown in the artwork. The images fascinate and create impressions in the minds of visitors coming into the state, captivating the attention of visitors who look with keen interest, pondering on the messages which the posture of the engraved images signifies. The Three Wise Men has been relocated thrice from its original position at Ojodu Berger end of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to Magodo area before its final relocation to its present site at Olowo Drive. The sculpture has suffered severe damages over the years and renovated. Bodun Shodende, through this sculpture, depicted the highest honor that can be afforded to anyone in the eco-greeting tradition. The Three Wise Men, Arometa, Souk Enlightenment.
Welcome to Femi Walsh Limited, owners of Souk TV Lagos, Our Radio Lagos, Kaswa Radio Kano, and of course, Emirates TV, Abuja, and Dubai. Our niche market for media is business, economy, and development. At Femi Walsh, we promote your company's products and services using our world-class facilities. From our radio to Souk TV, what you get is nothing but the best of the very best.
And if you're looking for the premium production firm for your events and corporate coverage, think no further, because we offer you the best of industry standards.
With high-definition cameras ranging from 4K to 8K multicam setups, high-directional microphones, and real-time streaming encoders, we give you a production like none other. And if you're looking to produce podcasts, adverts, and documentaries, our team of experts will ensure that you convey your message clearly and professionally. Femi Walsh, Global Vision, Local Impact.
Thank you for staying tuned. Now we'll bring you a very key story. The Nigerian Customs Service says it is reinforcing its commitment to transparency, accountability, and efficient enforcement in revenue generation. This comes as officials from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offices Commission, ICPC, and the Customs Service converge in Lagos for a sensitization lecture focused on integrity in operations. The Customs ICPC collaboration reflects ongoing effort to institutionalize transparency, minimize leakages, and build systems that can drive sustainable revenue generation and national development. Chooks John Rogers filed in this report presented from our studios by Moyosore Adebi.
With the theme, Leveraging Customs Enforcement to Enhance Revenue Generation with Transparency and Accountability, an ICPC perspective. The lecture, held at the Federal Operations Unit, Zone A, Ikeja, brought together officers of the Nigeria Customs Service and top officials from the ICPC. The Public Relations Officer, A.O. Hussaini, opened the event by introducing dignitaries, followed by welcome remarks from Comptroller M.S. Shuaibu, head of the Federal Operations Unit, Zone A. Assistant Comptroller F.A. Owoni, convener of the session and Zonal Head of Operations for Zone A and C, underscored the significance of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, ACTU, which represents the ICPC within the Customs Service. There was also a brief remark by Mary Omonoya, a Principal Superintendent at ICPC, representing the Resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Chukura Alexandra.
My honor to welcome integrity-driven Nigerian Customs Service.
She charged the NCS to ensure that enforcement activities within the Nigeria Customs Service must be grounded in the principles of accountability and ethical conduct. In her lecture, Dr. Hadiza Rimi, Principal Superintendent PE&E, ICPC Lagos, stressed that public perception, transparency, and quick open accountability remain major obstacles to effective customs operations and public trust.
So we have what we call Act 2, just like you have here, and those people hosting the event today. So the Act 2 is responsible in checkmating potholes, or loopholes rather, in MDAs, in ensuring that there's compliance and in ethics in institutions.
Dr. Rimi also drew comparisons between Nigeria and Ghana in Customs Governance Index. Comptroller M.S. Shuaibu shed more light.
Some average custom officer is, I think, among those that is doing selfless service. That's why it's when you see people pushing that they should do this to customs, they are not out of context. We generate revenue. So if you're directing revenue, you are seeing it pass. Okay, like we said, those you think will cut corners. When after cutting their corners, what we try to do, we sanction them. Like I said, I mentioned somebody as that level dismissed. And no organization in Nigeria that had done that. No organization. I remember when I was in that operation, S2, that is what I do. 9 officers were dismissed at one time.
He further gave more clarifications to the issues highlighted. When Souqnews TV asked how the service supports small business exporters, Comptroller M.S. Shuaibu pointed to recent reforms, including port redesigns for export focus, revitalized rail systems to ease cargo movement, and reduce checkpoints. He urged Nigerian exporters to prioritize global quality standards. He also highlighted perception management strategies by the Customs Service. In his closing remarks, Assistant Comptroller F.A. Owuniyi thanked participants and urged the ICPC to extend similar trainings to officers on the field, not just administrative staff.
Moving on, U.S. President Donald Trump imposed new tariffs to either punish or favor major trading partners on Wednesday as government raced to strike deal with Washington less than 24 hours before an August 1 deadline. South Korea squeezed in at the last moment, securing agreement on a 15% tariff for export to the United States, significantly below the 25% that Trump had earlier threatened. However, Trump also announced crippling 50% tariffs on Brazil and a 25% levy on Indian export, while warning Canada it would face trade repercussions for planning to recognize a Palestinian state. The 15% rate on Seoul, Washington's key security ally, was equivalent to levels determined from U.S. trade deals with Japan and the European Union, reflecting a consistent approach in this trade policy. And moving ahead, the New Zealand government has reversed a 6-year ban on offshore oil and gas exploration, a policy enacted by former Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern in 2018 to combat climate change. This decision, effective May 2025, stems from growing concerns over energy security and declining natural gas reserves. The original ban prohibited new offshore exploration permits outside the Taranaki region and was praised by environmental groups as a step forward reducing carbon emissions. Ardern had stated that the world has moved on from fossil fuels. However, the current center-right coalition government led by Prime Minister Christopher Luxon argued the ban caused energy shortages and increased reliance on imported coal and diesel. Natural gas production fell by 12.5% in 2023 and a further 27.8% in early 2024, leading to nationwide energy shortages and rising prices, prompting this policy reversal. And now France's annual inflation rate remained unchanged at 0.9% in July, staying well below the European Central Bank's ECB 2% target, according to the National Statistics Agency license. The figure matched June's rate and slightly exceeded economics' expectations of 0.8%. This persistently low inflation, largely influenced by weaker energy prices, may provide the European Central Bank with more flexibility to consider additional interest rate cuts. Analysts suggest that the subdued price pressures support a cautious policy stance as the Eurozone negative slow growth and fragile consumer demand. This economic stability, despite external factors, allows the strategic monetary decisions to ensure continued economic balance within the region. And now we wrap up with sport. FC Barcelona and the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, have announced a strategic 4-year partnership aimed at promoting football and the culture of sport and peace. This agreement signifies a shared commitment to fostering multi-sport development within the DRC. As part of this collaboration, the club will contribute to enriching the training of the country's young athletes by transferring its ecosystem of values, a pillar of the Barca model and style. Though its Barca academy system, FC Barcelona will create and develop sports activities including camps and clinics aimed at children in the region. This will encompass structured and inclusive development across key disciplines: football, basketball, handball, futsal, and roller hockey. Additionally, all of the club's professional teams will wear the emblem of RD Congo, Corps d'Afrique, on the back of their training shirts for the next 4 seasons until 2028-2029, reinforcing the partnership. The club will also become a global partner, named official empowerment partner for sport and culture. And that's the news this afternoon. We say many thanks for watching. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at Souqnews TV. My name is Grace Komalafe. Do have a good afternoon.